For this video, we'll be looking at Gemini's audio understanding capabilities, which is a feature that allows you to feed audio into Gemini, ask it to summarize it, transcribe it, and even ask questions about the audio. If this is something that you're looking to learn or to do in your next project, please follow me along. And as usual, all the links to the resources and the notebook will be provided in the description. Please download it and try it yourself, because that's the best way you will learn. Let's dive into the video.
Before you proceed, there are two things you must have done. One, you must have grabbed this notebook from the description. Please grab it so you can try it out yourself. And secondly, you should have watched the file upload API tutorial where I showed you how to upload files to Gemini. In case you've missed that, you could pause the video here. I will put the link either here or here so you could watch it, and that will give you the prerequisite knowledge you need to be able to work with this. Okay, let's get straight into the video. As usual, these are resources I think you should have bookmarked. You should also have a Gemini API key, and you should enable notebook access. And also, if you grab the notebook, you should have access to the folder. We'll be working with about 2 audio files. Awesome. So we have my drive opened, and if I just navigate to the Gemini API series, we'll be working with these 2 audio files. Okay, so I can't open it here. Let me open it here so you listen. Right, this is something I generated with
we've all been there, haven't we?
Notebook
Collecting
LLM.
Information.
And it's just an audio file that talks about how you should move from knowing about things to doing them, because that's how you actually master them. And the second audio file is just a very small file, right? That basically is just a bit. And so these are the files we'll be uploading to Gemini and giving it to Gemini to see if it can understand it. Now, let's go over what we'll cover. One, we'll cover how to provide audio input to Gemini, when to use inline audio versus the file API, the supported tasks that you could do like transcription, summarization, and question and answering. Will also be targeting specific audio segments, and also you can actually pass a YouTube link to Gemini for it to generate context or content from it. And then we'll just have a recap and our conclusion. So let's get straight into the video. So the first thing we'll be covering is how do you provide audio to Gemini. There are 2 ways to do this. You can either pass it inline, that is, say for example you have the audio file in your notebook, you can actually pass the audio file to Gemini, and Gemini will use that audio file that is available in your code on your notebook to generate content, or you could use the file upload API. And when would you use which? The rule is, if your file is larger than 20 megabytes, rely on the file API. But if you have a very small file like 5 megabytes or something, then you can just use the inline method, right? And again, if you've not watched the file upload API, go watch it so you understand how to upload files to Gemini or to Google, right? And use it in Gemini, right? And so, like I say here, if the total request size is larger than 20 MB, use the file API, smaller audio can be passed inline. Now for setup, as usual, we just install all the things we need, specify our model ID, and also create a new client. And then for our inline file upload, all we just need to do is say we open, we pass the link to the file. So that small audio file I showed you, that is just about 5 megabytes, I think, with some beats, and then we specify the response output. I've run this previously because, again, I don't want this video to take too long. And it says here the audio clip features a relaxed and chill electronic music track characteristic of lo-fi, hip-hop, or down-tempo electronic music. Right, I will allow you to listen to this audio file yourself, but to me that's a very accurate description of the audio file. But how do you then use file upload? Well, the way to do that is you pass the link to the file like we did previously in the other video, and then here, because it could take a while for the file to get uploaded, I am checking if the state of the file is active, because that's the only time you could then use this file, right? And so I would run this so you see it in action, right? And it says yes, file state is active. And then let's now look at the different tasks that we could have. So for transcripts, I would tell it to transcribe the audio file, and let's see if it can get the audio file. We can see here that this has given us a response, and it generated every millisecond the transcript of every word that was spoken. But I actually do not like this. And so this is where you could, for example, specify the way in which it provides the transcript to you. Say you could say, oh, segment it into each speaker, identify each speaker, and then for each complete sentence, provide the transcript and the timestamp. But I won't run this again because this is going to take really long. But this is how you would do it, and this is how you would generate transcript. But let's look at summarization. If we wanted it to summarize key points in the audio file, right, all we just need to do is run, and this should actually be quite faster than the previous prompt, because here it doesn't need to actually also try to identify each segment of the speaker. So you see that the audio file emphasizes the critical gap between knowing something and being able to do it, highlighting how an illusion of competence can prevent true learning and mastery. And that is exactly what the speakers in the audio file were talking about. And it just goes on to list the key points. Now let's look at question and answering, right? How can I take action based on the key topics discussed in the audio file? And let's see what Gemini says. But as you can see, this unlocks superpowers to you. Again, there are multiple applications you can build with this. Say for example, you can build an application that allows students, universities provide YouTube links, and then you're able to generate questions and answers for them to practice, or they can provide their audio lecture notes, and then it provides like a summary of it for them. Right, it says 1, shift your mindset, embrace the power of doing. Take me for example, I always wanted to share my knowledge with the world, but I didn't know how to do that. But then I'm creating YouTube. If there's anything you think I could be doing better, but leave a comment. But at least I am doing it. I am showing up and I'm recording content, trying to teach, trying to get better at the things I know, right? So the power of doing, right? And another thing I want to show you is that you can actually specify segments in the audio file that you want Gemini to focus on and give it a prompt around a segment. And so I see here, what is the central topic the speakers were speaking from 2:30 to 3? They're saying like a minute of the audio file. Again, I won't play the audio file. Please go listen to it in the folder. So let's see, Gemini can actually provide us a specific key point in that segment. I think this is also going to take long because it needs to actually think deeper. So the key central topic speaker was speaking from 2:30 to 2:30 is the distinction between theoretical knowledge and practical application, emphasizing the real learning and mastery comes from active doing and practice, and so on and so forth. So again, you can see the sky is your starting point with the kind of applications you can build with Gemini. Now, another interesting thing that I want to show you is how you can actually, say you have an inline audio, you can then specify segments within that audio and then pass it to Gemini and tell it to do specific things. Say for example, that 14-minute audio we have, let's say we just care about the first 5 minutes or first 3 minutes or first 1 minute, you can grab that segment and pass it to Gemini, and Gemini would basically, oh, I forgot to run this too, and Gemini will basically provide a response to you. So let's just allow this run for a couple of minutes, and then we see audio segment. Great. And then when we run this, we should, so what we are just doing here is while clipping the audio to just 60 seconds, which is a minute, and passing that to Gemini and telling it. So here we're not passing the uploaded file, we're just passing an inline file, right, which is quite amazing if you really think about it, right? We're just passing an inline file. So see how this is useful. Say you have a very large audio file, but what you want to do is you want to chunk them, right? You want to split them, and you don't want to upload them. You just want quick answers. You can basically do this, right? Where, for example, you have an end, like you have an end index, and then you iterate and get the response. So the audio clip features 2 speakers, 1 male and 1 female, engaging in a conversational and informative discussion, likely part of a podcast or educational program. Right. So again, another amazing thing you could do. Now, the final one is through YouTube. So this is a YouTube video where I explain anagram of a lead code problem, and I basically pass this prompt to Gemini. So using this YouTube URL, provide me the main thesis, the claims, what's the central point the creator is making, and so on and so forth. Say for example, you want to build a tool that allows content creators like me and analyze other creators' content and see what is making them do so well. You could basically pass this to Gemini and have it generate content for you. So I've already done this. I won't run this because I think this tutorial is getting so long. But see here, it says the video provides a Python solution to lead code problem 439, find all anagrams in a string, utilizing the sliding window technique, and it just gives the main themes, the call to action, etc. This is, in fact, I think sometime in the future I'm probably going to build an application like this, because as a newbie to YouTube, as a newbie to content creation, I see a lot of people that I like their content and it would be nice to reverse engineer that content. So imagine building something like this for someone like me. Something very important I need you to know: I tried this out and I tried to solve this and I didn't get it to work, but it seems Gemini struggles with MP4 files because the files will not basically enter a ready state. I don't know why that is the case here, but who knows, maybe it's a problem. There's actually a Google issue about it, which basically someone has raised an issue, and I even put a comment that I'm still experiencing this. So please don't upload MP4 files, right? Use MP3 for now, or if you have a solution around this, please leave it in the comment. I would like to know how you solve this. So in this tutorial, we saw how to pass audio files to Gemini through the inline method and through the file upload method. We saw when to use the file API. We saw the supported tasks like transcription, summarization, question and answers, and we saw how to target parts of the audio, and we also saw how to use YouTube links. So this has been Temi showing you how to do audio understanding using Gemini. If you liked the video, please show some love and support by liking it, subscribing, and leaving a comment of what you want to see next. In the next tutorials and the upcoming ones, we'll continue to build on this knowledge and we will eventually build a capstone project. Thank you so much for your time, and I'll catch you in the next video.